So, you guys liked the Blue Lock video? That's surprising. I was just trying to test things out, and I was gonna finish the series regardless, but to see that you guys enjoyed everything overall was amazing. So, let's get into the second part. By the way, still saying you should watch, well, you should read The Boxer. That series is awesome, has so many awesome characters to like. And it's just a good overall time. Go to Webtoon or whatever website you use to read manhwa or manga, everything. It's so fun. It's also a very tragic story, but it's so fun. All right, let's pick up where we left off last time, and let's go. A day has passed, and walking through a tunnel, we see Team Z frantically and nervously moving onto the field for their last game. Hey Isagi. Looking to his left, Isagi sees Barou, who says, "If you lose this, I'm never gonna play with you for real." Yeah. I feel lonely just thinking about it, so I'm gonna give it my all. You do the same, if I feel like it. Oh, come on, Isagi, take this seriously. You're such an egoist. As they reach the field, from the other side arrives Team V, with Iemon making everyone get into positions as Barou begins the kickoff. Instantly, Isagi would reach him, and he would then go to pass to Zantetsu when the ball is then swiped by Isagi. Ryo is clearly surprised, as this is all he could think because it happened so fast. Isagi then ran forward, and Team Z would advance into positions as Isagi would move, dribbling past everyone before kicking quite far from the goal. But this is actually a pass headed by Gagamaru into the net. 1-0. Alright, go work, guys. Let's keep going like that, said Isagi. As they all nod, they head back to their side, and as he fixes his goggles, Zantetsu says, "He countered before you even got the chance. You're acting like we lost or something. Hey Nagi, let's do that thing," said Ryo. Huh? I'd rather not, though. Everyone gets on guard as Team V would get the kickoff again, and as soon as Ryo would blast the ball down the field, everyone is confused by this play. But they see Nagi following the ball and decide to just cover him, just as he leaps to the sky and receives it, traps it mid-air, leaving them wide-eyed by his immaculate control. And he lands and blasts it into the net, but before he even enters the boundary, Isagi comes into the scene, not only copying Nagi, but doing what he did even better. Holding his foot out, he doesn't slowly stop the rotation of the ball, he reverses it back just as he makes contact, and it spins back upon bouncing away from the goal. Gracefully landing, Isagi then bursts, following after the rolling ball, and looks around asking why they all look so shocked. It's not that hard. That's what I'm always saying, Nagi said with a look of intrigue and also anger. I thought Nagi was a monster. That guy's even more scary, Zantetsu thought. Isagi would then head over to the other net with Ryo in anger yelling for everyone to get him, but as he runs and they approach, Isagi gets annoyed. "I'm just gonna kick it," he said. "He's gonna kick it? What's that mean? Wait, he can't be." As he takes his next step, Isagi's eyes narrow as he blasts the ball over 4 people coming to him, and at incredible speed it reaches the goalie, who jumps to catch it, but it curves and lands inside the goal. The goalie then thuds to the floor, slamming his fist down in anger, and Isagi turns to look back at the rest of Team V, who's at a loss for words. 2-0, Isagi said. "Was that the trick you wanted to show me, by the way?" "No, Nagi, I'm gonna need you to try as hard as you can," says Ryo. "Seriously? Fine. This is so annoying." In the next set, the kickoff is began by Team V once again, as Zantetsu starts with incredible speed but is caught up to by Chigiri, but then he realizes that this guy's as fast as me. With the forward pass, he gives the ball to Nagi, who receives it on the ground this time, while Igarashi tries to cut him off, but with the turn he leaps and does a bicycle kick, only to hit air as he aims for the ball, with Isagi leaping over him, having taken the ball and landing. Holy shit! He jumped so high! Seeing him from below as he fell, Nagi feels a shiver down his spine when Isagi then stares him down before he looks back forward, telling everyone to get back in positions. He passes to Bachira, who passes to Chigiri when he's then countered by Zantetsu again, but he backpasses to Brachi, who then runs past them both, but is then tackled from behind. Luckily, he manages to dodge. "Takes more than that, you bastards. Take it, Gagamaru." He passes up front, and Gagamaru headers it into the net again before falling, and everyone storms around him for having done this consecutively 2 times in a row. 3-1. How did he even get there? I didn't notice him. Why is that guy, disappearing? I guess Isagi has another weapon, Bachira said. You never know he's there until he steals the ball, all Team Z thinks. As the enemy team is getting more anxious, they luckily get the ball again because, well, they got scored on. But Ryo has begun to understand how Isagi keeps popping up in everywhere like he wants to be. He's essentially diverting their attention to their wingers somehow as he passes the ball to someone. So he quickly uses people as kind of like a cover. He hides behind them and then runs around to kind of create this veil of invisibility. But it's kind of hard to explain because Isagi just does it so naturally. But you're not going anywhere this time. Is that so? Isagi said. So this time Isagi is not going to be, well, against the person who has the ball for kickoff. He's just at the side. But Ryo comes up to him. And Ryo does not leave him alone the moment that ball starts going. And though he cannot get the ball passed to him, it doesn't matter because eventually Kunigami gets the ball. But he's being guarded. Wait, what should I do? Pass it? Get through with dribbling? Kunigami, I'm open. Pass it. But if I do that, I'll never be a Kunigami. As he hears the voice of Isagi, he freezes. He sees him running and says, "Go for it. Don't you want to be a superhero?" Fueled by these words, Kunigami would push off the defender as he would then strike and blast the ball down to the goal. The goalie would reach for it when it then dips down and he notices it's not spinning. The ball's not spinning? The ball then hits the net and Kunigami yells, "Hell yeah!" That's 4-1. That thing was like a bullet. Good going, Musclehead. Who the hell just said that? Yells Kunigami. With the goal being scored, Ryo stops guarding Isagi, who wipes his sweat off his brow. Ryo just walks off saying, "Your speeches aren't gonna work forever. Next time I'll sick or fastest on you." Isagi simply watches him leave, and something in him begins to rise. Does he think he's got me locked down? It's not anger that swells within Isagi, but a sense of pride, something that he hasn't felt in a very long time. He looks at the clock. He saw that he could still do a play, so walking past everyone, he said, "I'm gonna steal and score." Fun. I'm not defending for your ass. Just don't lose the ball. As they set the ball and begin with Zantetsu, he kicks off with incredible speed past Isagi and then goes to kick the ball for a pass. When he sees the ball is gone, and in horror, he turns back. Isagi! Running ahead, having already taken the ball, Isagi is met by a defender but begins to scissor at incredible speed until he just runs past him. The player noticed far too late that the ball was no longer in front of him anymore, and he had already been megged. Meeting another one of Team V's, Isagi abruptly stops, putting his back to him before spinning around him while megging them again. He chases after the ball, but meets the last wingers of their formation. Two of them run forward, each striking at the ball, only to have their heads pushed down, as Isagi does this and raises his legs into a split. He avoids kicking them barely, while he headers the ball he flicked into a rainbow. How did we not notice that he sent that up? The ball is now in mid-air, and as he begins to gain footing when he gets back on the ground, he leaps up to kick it, but Nagi meets his kick with his own, leaving them with, well, just battling for the ball. Shit, we forgot about him. The two land and struggle for the ball with intense focus. Isagi breaks the back and forth, however, as he pulls the ball over his way and meets it with his back foot, making it rise into the air and reaching his head, and he butts it past Nagi. Whoa, does he have telekinesis? Thinks Nagi. Then running past him, Isagi says, "You know how to trap, but you can't beat me in overall control. Sorry." Then he blasts the ball with the direct shot to the net's corner and scores a goal before raising his hand to the air as halftime is announced. That's 5-1. At the monitor, we see Ego and, in the monitor room, we see Ego and Anri, who with a look of shock says, Did you know about this when you picked him? He's supernatural." As he grins, Ego said that he saw him play a match before. I thought he didn't play. Not professionally, no. And that was his first and last match at his school. Do you know what happened when someone came for him? What? He was at the center line. He made a goal. Everybody thought it was luck. Well, I don't blame them, but that means he's even more amazing than you think, right? It wasn't that. It was the look he had on his face that I noticed. He did it with boredom. No perspiration. A natural-born athlete. A monster. As halftime is taken, Team V is now really realizing that they were not the strong group here, but the underdogs. And something inside Nagi began to crawl its way out. his ego. As they get back outside, this time Nagi asks to have the ball and he sees Isagi set as the center back, strangely enough. And as they're told to begin, he blasts off and quickly makes it past 3 of Team Z's. And then he passes to Zantetsu, who would run while being chased by Chigiri until he shoots to the rear side of the goal, where Nagi would be getting guarded. But running forward, he catches the ball and with a spin, kicks it right into the side of the net without touching the ground. As he lands, he leaves the defenders in shock as he looks to Isagi, who was just watching him. Why didn't you stop it? It looked really cool. This had marked the beginning of it, Nagi's slumbering potential, and yet Isagi wasn't even phased because at that moment there was no time for Team V to even have a chance to come back. And at every turn, for every next play that Nagi tried, all of his attempts, they were all thwarted. Even Zantetsu, who is faster than Chigiri, completely was foiled, ending with a score of 9-2. Team Z wins. I lost, Ryo said. If only he wasn't here. Ryo hears his name and looks to Nagi, who says, Soccer's a lot more interesting than I thought. So while Team Z is celebrating, from the speakers they hear a voice and stop to listen. It says, in first place is Team Z, and second, Team V, and Team W is third. And Team W, including X and Y, will have its top strikers extracted to pass on while the rest of their team members fail. And they're congratulated for this. And this includes, of course, the likes of Nagi, Ryo, Zantetsu, people like that who really were the heart of the team. I guess we get to stay, Nagi said. Yeah, we need to rematch against that guy for sure, Ryo said. Hours later, Team Z celebrates with food in their room and just party, and Bachira goes with Isagi to get some drinks for everyone. Good work out there, Isagi said. I figured it was a given. I ain't losing to you. With a chuckle, Isagi said to keep thinking that as Bachira picks up one of the drinks asking if this was fine. Isagi is about to answer when he hears some sniffing. He returned to see those eliminated from Blue Lock walking off and out of the facility. They were crying in complete tears, broken, their dreams taken from them. Feels like we dodged a bullet, Isagi said. Oi, you! Hearing a voice, Isagi turns to see Barou towering over him as his face exudes nothing but bloodlust and anger. I made it, you bastard! Not that there was ever any doubt. Ooh, scary, said Bachira. Didn't take you for a sore loser, though. As Isagi and Barou keep their stare, Barou sees nothing in Isagi's eyes to even show a bit of care, and he's so pissed, but he just starts walking off saying, I'll take back my throne, you hear me? Who are you? Freezing in his steps, he realizes Isagi doesn't even remember his name. But Isagi says he takes his declaration seriously, though. I don't really care about your throne, though. I just like playing football. Then we can agree on something, Yoichi. I'll crush you. Then he leaves, and Bachira, his teammate, says that was a bit harsh. But with a serious tone, Isagi says he barely knows the guy and only played football against him. Really, because he was kind of memorable. To you, maybe. As their voices are drowned out and they leave, something in Barou breaks, that being his pride. Isagi doesn't even remember him. He doesn't care about the throne. He's on a completely different plane. However, this tranquil break isn't going to last as night falls and Team Z is told that their second selection is about to start already, which is extremely annoying. For the next 10 days, they're put through hellish training, endurance training, weight training, and even though they get to eat, drink and all that, the training is so hard that they are left nothing but husks. But during this is when Isagi thrives, and lucky another attribute of use, that being his monstrous physique. Literally every day made him stronger because he never worked out like this before, but he had the potential to become that kind of guy. Just to make this clear, again, you literally strike so fast that his punches can scratch and pierce through skin. And that was during his first match against someone. He did it casually and he can do it repeatedly. That's the kind of person I'm talking about. A bell goes off in the early morning, waking Team Z as they're told to put on their training suits. Wait, is it finally over? Iemon said. Naruhaya says, we're finally moving on to the next stage, right? This Took way too fucking long. I can actually do something, Raichi said. Quickly, they get dressed and they head to the basement of the facility, hyped to finally play soccer, especially Isagi. As they arrive, they find other teens making their way in, with them also having these massive bags under their eyes, representing how hard they have also been worked to the bone. I have an idea, guys, Isagi said. Huh? What is it? Everyone here is supposed to be from each stratum, right? The only people here are apparently from the worst of Blue Lock. Isn't that a bit weird? As this dawns on them, they feel as though something fishy is happening because some of these people shouldn't even be here because apparently they've been living in better environments than them, even if they're still lower than them, and yet they look just as exhausted as them, some of them even more than them, and they're higher ranked teams. At that moment, Ego shows himself to everyone. Hello there, unpolished gems. Good work with your physical training. Now that all of you are here, I'm sure some of you have started to notice. There has only ever existed the fifth stratum. Nothing higher, nothing below. All of you were made to think you were the worst from V to Z and fought hard like maniacs. What? You told everyone the same thing? Hey, screw you. Isn't there like anything that you won't do for football? This guy's trying to kill us. As they get angry, however, Ego says he doesn't care, as simulated what some of the hungriest strikers have experienced, the hunger to go higher. Noah, for example, was raised in the slums of France. You all came here to drag down those above you, right? Keep that hunger. It'll change the world of football forever. They're just left speechless because there's really nothing that this man won't do for football. Like, he's shameless as hell. And he just casually says they can begin the second selection now. So the selection this time is divided into 5 stages where you only get to move forward if you clear the stage. And those who pass this selection will get to train with top pros. Right before the door to the beginning of the second selection, a bunch of baskets would pop out from the ground full of footballs or soccer balls, I guess, as they're told to go warm up. But those who don't feel ready, well, the first stage is an individual battle. If you don't move on to the second stage, you best assume you're never going to see anyone here again regardless. This is when the true egoists come through. Make sure to arrange yourself. Otherwise, when you lose, you lose. And there's nothing else that can be done about your dreams. With this, the monitor cuts out. Panic kind of begins to spread a little bit. They've just been bombshelled by this truth that they're all just what it is. This is Blue Lock. This is all of them. They don't even know what they're going to do. They're trying to bring their thoughts together. But Isagi, once again, is seen heading in first without a care. Let me in. I've been revving to do something. The gates open wide for him, and he heads in as his name is shown on the monitor. Oh, it's that guy. He's an absolute monster. Itoshi Rin within the crowd had heard from many how terrifying this guy is, but simply thinks, looks lukewarm to me. Meanwhile, as Isagi enters the first stage, he's met by a wide field and trapped by a square room filled with many panels, and from one of these panels, a soccer ball would shoot out. Football, same thing. He catches it under his foot, and from behind, he hears something. He would turn to see a hologram of a humanoid with shackles around his neck named the Blue Lock Man. Behind this hologram is then put a holographic goal, and it gets ready, like it gets into a stance. And a radius is lit up below Isagi that begins to shrink and get closer and closer until it stops. This designates the zone from which he can kick in. He can't step out or he's gonna, fail. Let me try that then. Since I got here, it feels like nothing really feels right. I mean, I can do everything. But he steps back a bit, and the moment he steps forward, his leg fires so fast that it is unseen. What sounds like a shotgun is heard as the Blue Lock Man freezes, glitching as the ball flies past it with not even one spin. Thanks for using that move, Kunigami. Now I've devoured it and made it my own. Bullet. That is simply what it's named. Bullet. It is literally so fast that it sounds like a bullet's being fired. Now, no matter what position he's in, Isagi can deliver thunderous blows powerful enough to create the same erratic yet straightforward attack. And he can even kind of sauce it up a little bit. I'll show it later in the arcs. Now the Blue Lock Man, despite being a hologram, will then grab the ball and kick it back to him. surprises Isagi. This is some high tech stuff. And then he sees a hologram show a timer of 90 minutes with a goal of 100 goals within that time. This only excites him more, and he sees this as a perfect warm-up. He's insane. At that moment, the goal and the man are showed to his right, and like the what's it called? The hologram is literally showed by his side. Blue Lock is really weird with this technology. Like it's just by his side, and yeah, he starts doing his thing. He runs and kicks, and he really is enjoying this. As the stage continues, the difficulty rises and rises as holographic standees are used to get in his way, but he can also get past all of them, and he does so on every first try, thus clearing it in just 30 minutes. This leaves Henri at a complete loss of words. What even is he? He didn't miss once. I pulled out all the stops, you know. Oh, stop being surprised. You should be used to it by this point. Heading to the second stage of this stage, Isagi enters another room. He sees no one is here yet, so he takes a seat because a sign says that a team of 3 is needed to move forward. So he waits and waits, and the first to come in is Rin, who is surprised, and more people come in when around 60 minutes have passed, a full hour, until Bachira finally arrives. Isagi! They high-five, happy that they both made it, and already decide that they'll be on the same team. Who do you think we should include next, Bachira asks. I don't know, everyone's been eyeing me like a pack of hungry animals, but not stepping up. Chigiri or Kunigami would be good enough, though. Alright, we'll include them. Don't go deciding that randomly. Don't be so indecisive, egoist. Hey, Isagi. Hearing the voice of Nagi, the two look forward, see him walking over. He asks, "Can I join you?" This shocks Ryo. Wait, you're playing with me, right? That's a given, right? Looking back, Nagi says, "You taught me everything I know about football. You and I might become the strongest together, but we lost horribly. And I want to try and put in some effort and get over this feeling I've been having. This frustration. To do that, I need to play with that guy." This honestly breaks his friend a little bit. Not that Nagi gives a damn at this point, clearly. But Isagi says that Nagi can come. Fine, do whatever you want. See if I care. The 3 are put as a team on the monitor, with them heading off and Nagi saying goodbye for now. I'll be waiting ahead. With bitter feelings, at least more on Ryo's side, they part, and Isagi's team heads down a dark hallway with Bachira welcoming Nagi with a handshake. Your friends seem pretty sad back there. You really don't care? I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss him, but you guys seem more exciting. And isn't rising higher what this place is about? Either that or Ego wants to get off on her pain, Isagi said. That too, Nagi responds. But Isagi gives him a fist bump, saying to not slow them down. I'll only play with strong people. Then I'll match you soon, egoist. You guys get along so well. They would then reach a room at the end of the tunnel, seeing Rin with his team, who look to them, and they all lock eyes instantly as Ego would then show on the monitor saying that this is a 3v3 battle, and as the first 3 teams each that have been formed, they might as well just fight if they want to or wait. You'll have Blue Lock Man as your goalie, and you'll play a quick game. Whichever team wins gets a steal from, well, a player from the losing team. And the first to score 5 goals wins, and you get to choose your next opponents, but the other party has to agree. That's just how the rules go. Also, whoever is left last of the team after losing their 2 will be dropped out, said Ego. Oh, and here come your new rankings, your actual standing. They then look to their shoulders, seeing their new rank, which for Isagi is number 1, as it should have been in the beginning, leaving Ren at 2, which takes him off. Also, you might be a bit confused why Ego put him as, like, in Team Z if Isagi is so strong. People have actually been saying that a lot about a lot of Blue Lock things, like Blue Lock what is, my bad. My simple logic for this is that he likes to push Isagi from the bottom to the top, because there's no point if Isagi already knows he's hot shit instead of having to work for it. So he thought Isagi might be a bit of like a narcissist and he wouldn't get better, so he put him in Team Z and then saw him rise up, proving that he is consistently getting better and feeling his potential. That's why he put him in Team Z, because Isagi is he's just built different. That man should have been top team right away, but Ego wanted to try a little something. And well, they're just excited. And Baishiro comments that even now, systematically, he's better than them normies. But Isagi says, why are you pushing that view on me? I'm just playing football, man. Crap. If we lose, I definitely won't be chosen now, she says. He panics while Aryu with the flip of his hair says, if I lose to those potatoes over there, you won't be stylish enough. So don't drag us down. Walking past them, Rin says for both of them to shut up, and Aryu gets mad, almost getting in his face, but Aoshi holds him back. Rin says that it doesn't matter if Ego thinks Isagi is above him. All of you are just stepping stones for my real goal. Itoshi sigh. I don't even consider us a team, you hear me? That's what my football's about. Isagi just thinks to himself, oh, that was so cringe. But he's also interested in having a match, so he says, alright, let's face off. You guys don't mind, right? Or do you want to wait? With the shake of their head, they say that they're good with it. And Rin says he wants to fight as well, so they set up the match and head to a football field with some new jerseys. Rin is Team Red, Isagi's team is White, and their Blue Lock men have already appeared. Team White gets the ball, and Isagi would kick off to Bachira, who runs and is intercepted by Aoshi. But he quickly gets past him with his dribbling, before passing to Nagi, who Aryu appears behind. I'm gonna stop you with style. However, as the ball reaches him, he taps it back, surprising his defender as the ball is brought past him by Isagi, who ran up to them. Pulling back his leg, he fires a shot past the goalie as everyone is alerted by the echo of the impact. And it's now 1-0. That goal was beyond stylish. How did he hit so hard? We're so gonna lose. Why do we have to face these guys? While Team White celebrates though, Rin gets the ball back and says, alright, so that's your strength. I can't believe you're on my level. Just to show off, huh? I'm above you, apparently. You're so lukewarm, I feel like dying. With quick movement, he kicks the ball, which travels at incredible speed, but its flow and curve is as flexible as water. It passes between Bachira and Nagi, who couldn't react, and heads for the goal, when Isagi then catches and receives the blast. Rin is surprised. He disappeared again, said Bachira. You're legit like a ghost or something at this point, Nagi says. That's rude. Also, if you're above me, then A past me, egoist, or... He once again strikes the ball with so much force that a loud boom goes off and it passes Rin and all his teammates. But Rin says it's not spinning. This hits the corner of the net, curving at the last moment as the Blue Lock man fails to catch it, putting them 2-0. You shouldn't underestimate Isagi too much, said Bachira. He's a super egoist. What does that have to do with what I just did? You think too much. It sounds cool, okay? This guy, he's dangerous, Rin thinks. Alright, I can't be too lukewarm myself. As this team gets the ball for the kickoff again, he runs forward with the other two spreading out, but Bachira and Nagi just run past Rin. You're that confident in getting the ball from me. He looks forward seeing Isagi, who responds with, I didn't tell him to do that. They meet in a 1v1 as Rin gets to dribbling back and forth side to side incredibly quick, and yet I can't get past him. He begins to be worn down, allowing Isagi to kick the ball through his legs with a quick snap of his leg, allowing a lob pass to Nagi, who throws it, kicks it into the goal. Same thing. Thanks for the pass, but can you hold back a bit? My bad. 3-0. Walking back, Isagi says that he needs to get a bit serious. I want to get out of here fast. At that moment, he felt something ominous as he turned back to see what he could only describe as a bloodthirsty beast. Rin was getting over the edge, and obviously everyone noticed. You got this, right? Bachira asked. Yeah, but Nagi, time for us to work together. That's what you came here for, right? Nagi nods with Rin thinking, he's trying to use that kind of strategy against me. Screw him. On the next play, I don't know what I'm saying. On the next play, when Team Red has the ball, Rin runs forward with so much force that he almost knocks back Isagi, but this is when we finally see something from Isagi's point of view. He slowly sees Rin's shoulder near his chest. He sidesteps while kicking the ball through his legs, and then moves as if piercing through time itself because everything basically stood still. And as he took his next step, Rin felt air. Looking down, he saw no ball and fell to the floor. The ball was gone, and running down the field, Isagi and Nagi kept passing back to each other, but Rin is quick to shadow Isagi again when he gets up. He reaches out his leg, and in response, Isagi abruptly stops, knocking back into him and passing to Nagi, who stops running and turns his back to the goal. He's ready to receive when he then feels a wall behind. he turns and sees Aoshi. I have to stop you. I have to. I guess I'm doing this. With these words, as the ball falls his way, he and Aoshi jump, and yet as Nagi gets the ball, he headers it down and kicks it as it bounces backwards and goes to the goal. Bachira runs for it, catches it, and is met by Aryu. And Bachira feels intense pressure from him, so he knows this is serious. So he goes super fast, gets past him with ease, and then instantly blasts the ball, giving them a 4-0. Rin, who was being held back by Isagi, feels his breaking point coming and cannot believe he's about to lose to these nobodies. As the game is reset once again, Team Red knows they have run out of tactics as Isagi has a masterful way to swipe the ball away from them at any moment he wants. So Rin decides to use teamwork for once, and he passes to Aryu, who Nagi goes for, but using his long legs, he gets past him pretty easily, and then hits the ball to Aoshi, who Bachira would chase after, and he gets faster and faster and faster until he grabs a hold of him finally, but he realizes, this guy's built as hell. He just blasts past him. Aoshi mumbles to himself that he'll score as he nears Team White's net, when Isagi then swipes the ball from under him, handing it to the Blue Lock man, as Rin tries to defend him. Run back, Isagi said. His team does so as the Blue Lock man threw the ball to the red team side, and it ends up being an aerial match between Aryu and Nagi, which Aryu actually easily wins this time. However, as he runs forward, Nagi gets in front of him, scoring off with him, and getting Aryu annoyed until the ball was then swept by Isagi again, who will be getting chased by Rin. Score it. Yeah, so we can move on. You're not going anywhere. For the first time, Rin grabs a hold of Isagi because he's just so tired of this bullshit. But he's just pushed off like nothing as Isagi blasts the ball. It's almost as if time slowed down for him. Rin's heart thumped faster and faster until the Blue Lock man failed to catch the ball. It was now 5-0. Well then, Rin, come with me, Isagi said. As he lets go of Isagi, he sees him walk past, saying, being an egoist is good and all, but you can't beat me, so get your mind out of the gutter. Meeting up with Isagi, Nagi and Bachira start leaving as Bachira tells Rin to hurry up, and as he grits his teeth, he really tries not to punch someone right now. But he's forced to follow them, so he does. I guess he wasn't stylish enough. Why do you keep saying that? Now there's only two of us. I feel bad. Don't. He said he'd win and he didn't. It only makes sense that he deal with this, and I guess us. As they make their way forward, they're directed to somewhere new, that being their living quarters. I'm in the shower first, Isagi said. He blasts off as Rin with anger says to get back here and chases after him, as do the other two. In the end, Rin wins the spot and washes himself first before the others do, but while Bachira, Nagi, and Isagi gather to pick their bunks, they notice that Rin is gone and begin to hear the sound of a ball being blasted. Doesn't he get tired? Nagi said. Bachira then goes to ask Isagi if he wants to train together, only to see that he's taken the single bed and is dozing off, and slowly looking at each other. Bachira and Nagi run for the only remaining single bed. Meanwhile, on the field, Rin will be just kicking the ball into the net from center field over and over, only getting more and more drenched in sweat and a little bit of despair. And he already took a shower, so you know this man is insane. I'm gonna overcome that bastard, no matter what. However, things are not that easy. Through his efforts to make Isagi submit to his skill, he learns Isagi is an even bigger genius than maybe his own brother. The way he plays is bizarre, and yet it's perfect for him specifically. He draws in people and uses them like chess pieces, and he becomes one of the pieces whether or not he liked it. And Barou soon even played and lost to their team, and therefore joined in. But Barou can't stand how messy they are, and he states as such when he enters their team room. Pick up those socks. Would you stop drying your hair like that? You're getting water everywhere. Shut up already, said Rin. But yeah, stop being messy. Who the hell do you think you're talking to? Are you that stupid? Jumping on Barou and putting him in a hole, Isagi said, you really need to chill out. Pushing him back to his bed, Barou says that the worst of them all is him. He points to Isagi, who had already fallen asleep the moment he hit his bed, and he tries to hold in his anger. But then Isagi opens his eyes and he says, oh yeah, this is a mess. That's what I said, yells Barou. Bachira says, well whatever, isn't it time for breakfast? Joining him, Isagi says that he'll guess something, and Nagi runs after saying to wait for him as well. And when they clear the room, Rin asks, Is this your way of keeping your world together, king? As he picks up the mask, Barou says, "You're the only one here trying to do that. I'm not so stupid I can't realize when I'm beaten." This surprises but also pisses off Rin, who says, "I'm not choosing to bow like some dog. He never asked you to bow. You keep doing things that only get in his way and yet put you in an endless cycle in which that monster wins. I'm gonna find a new way to destroy and devour Isagi. Until then, come get some breakfast. If you mess up during a game, I'll kill you." Dropping the mess in the basket, Barou makes his way out, with the scoffing Rin getting down from his top bunk and making his way all the way down to the hall for the cafeteria. The next day, the team heads off for their 5 versus 5 match, and they stand in a different room now. Ego is shown on the monitor once again. He says, "Time for the third selection. You'll be facing world-class talents in 24 hours, Diamonds in the Rough." A picture of the team that they'll be facing is shown, and they give off a very menacing vibe. Sorry about that. And Ego said, "It's time for you frogs in the well to learn of the world." Bachira states, "Oh, that's Julian Loki." "They're all well known." "Good," Barou says. "Not really that important." As Nagi and Isagi say this in unison, Rin and Barou get mad, while Bachira laughs, saying that they're still new to football, so it doesn't make sense they don't know them. Besides, Isagi just probably wants to crush them. You know me so well. We will now actually go to a few hours earlier, have a little flashback, as we see Kunigami run into the next match room with Reo walking behind their team right now, but things happened. But he notices and runs to block a kick coming down at Igarashi from what seems like a delinquent player. As he is hit by the kick, Kunigami almost buckles but doesn't, as he will then tell Igarashi to run away. Igarashi gets out of the way, thanks him, and Shido, as he puts his leg down, just begins to laugh like a psychopath. "Okay, let's have a match, tough guy. I like you." "Screw off. I came here to help Igarashi. You're not gonna get a rise out of me." "Huh? Why? What? Oh, you're friends or something, right? Trying to play justice in here? It's kinda lame, man." "Yeah, well, I came here to play, not fight." "That only makes it more exciting, though. Come on, hero. Let's have a go." "Let's just play him." Hearing the voice of Ryo having said this, Kunigami turns and sees him enter the room, as he says that they wouldn't mind accepting the challenge. Now we will return to the top players as the day passes and they enter the next field, seeing their new opponents, and they're even more imposing in real life. These are pros after all. "Oh damn, they're scrawnier than I thought," Shuba the Brazilian player said. In English, just to be fair. These people don't really want to speak Japanese. They didn't want to learn that shit. They came in for the money. And Blake, the England goalie, said, "Yeah, I told you. Now pay up. You lost the bet." "They're making fun of us, aren't they?" said Barou. "Speak freaking Japanese." Making his way over, however, as he spoke in English, Rin would talk back to them and get in their face because they weren't taking this seriously. "Can we just get on with it?" Isagi said. Everyone looks at him like surprised because he's actually speaking English himself. "Well, where did you learn that?" asked Bachira. "I took it in school." "Regardless of all of that, I came here to play football and crush you. I hope that's okay." "Oh yeah, you're that kid," says Shuba. "Oh, this is gonna be fun." As they know who Isagi is and have been watching the weird way he plays, they're excited even if only a little to face him because to them, he might as well be already a pro. The ball starts off with Bachira, who is chased by Cabazos from Argentina. He would scissor around him and actually get past the surprise pro. While this was surprising though, this was Bachira's new cultivated style from playing with Isagi that was being used to its fullest, so it's pretty much normal for him. He's not really caring about nothing. But Cabazos keeps close like glue. Isagi would run a bit ahead, but also stay close to the two as they go back and forth as he waits for a pass. But then Loki came and blocked his way. At the moment when Bachira fires a quick cross, Isagi moves with Loki chasing him, but taking a leap, Isagi touched the ball with the tip of his shoe right as Rin came to get it, and he kept it at bay, pushing it back into the air. "You're not getting the first goal," said Rin. Looking at his sides, Isagi saw that he was cornered as Loki and Rin were coming from his right and left. He was in a pretty bad position, but that's never bothered him. With another flick, he pushed the ball backwards as the two would abruptly stop, looking back and seeing Barou run by and receive it. "How do you know Barou would be there?" thinks Rin. "It's Barou. He never listens to anyone." As he falls, the pros are honestly surprised as that was a bizarre ass play, and the fallen Isagi runs off as Rin goes another way, while Barou would blast the ball from center line and score on the Blue Lock man. Hell yeah! This makes it 1-0. As Barou would scream with pride, starting to go run back to their side, the pros knew they had to get serious now. You just don't make any sense, huh? Says Blake. I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to crush you, said Isagi. The shiver with the excitement they feel is just like amazing. They're wondering what the hell they're feeding these kids. The next kickoff goes to Team Red, aka the pros, as Loki would run forward while everyone spreads out and Isagi comes to guard him. Is that really it? All I see are openings. With his next step, he pierces the air, blasting forward with explosive speed past the surprised Isagi because he's even faster than Chikari. The hell? He snatched the ball, yells Luna. Stop! Looking down, Loki saw the ball was gone, and as he looks back, he sees a smiling Isagi and realized that he was being given openings on purpose, and the egoist ran forward with the ball as his team followed. The pros get on high alert, but as he is met by them along the way, Isagi mags each and every single one of them until he's met by Blake, who goes to tackle him and reach for the ball. However, as he ran up, Isagi flicks up the ball with the quickness like to a cat, and with the same leg, he then hammers a kick in. The pro opted to header it, but it curved as it reached him. What kind of monster is this guy, he thinks. As the ball hits the net, giving them their second goal, Blake fell over with Bachar running over and saying that was awesome. Of course it was. Oh, getting cocky now, are we? Says Barou. Don't worry, I'll pass you the next play. What about me? Asked Nagi. Next play. I got you. And as the next play comes through, the only thing that is shown is how behind the others are compared to Isagi, who is the only one to score goals when he actually tries, while the others might try and fail because the pros just can track them very easily. And his football IQ, his reaction speed, everything is just above everybody until they're 5-2. Damn, you're good, says Shuba. He approaches the teen and gives him a good slap on the back as a show of respect. Loki gives him a handshake saying, I guess you didn't need speed to stop me. Well done. As for the others. As they look to the unpolished gems, they can't really say they're impressed, but they have a lot of potential, and Loki says that they need more training, as they start leaving, hoping that they meet again. We weren't even on their level, Barou thinks. Me? I'm easy? Rin thinks to himself. Hell no. Isagi then asks, you guys want to go practice? Yes! They all unanimously say this as we now cut to the Blue Lock Special Conference Room, where the Japanese soccer union members are left completely quiet after having just seen the match I described. I didn't think they would actually win. Where the hell did you pick up that kid? We almost lost millions over this. He was our saving grace. However, the president of the union says he's a genius, but the others aren't really making as much of a progress. Why shouldn't I halt the Blue Lock project and just take him? Because we'll have a match, sir, says Ego. I'll show you what I've cultivated. If you love your child, send them out into the world, right? You better deliver then. Whatever you say, you greedy tanuki. In the following week, Isagi's team did nothing but train, but they weren't told much yet about what was going to happen, as it was fairly obvious that they were the only ones to actually beat the pros, but they thought that others beat them too somehow. They did not. No one else won except for them. They had to learn stuff too, like English, which Isagi helped with, and eventually they were called to a fine morning in their jerseys. Then they make their way out into a new room. The voice system says, altogether, 7 teams comprised of 35 members have successfully advanced. Second team, please enter. As they look to one of the many doors, it is slid open as Chigiri, Sarah, who is from team 1, I don't really know who the hell that is, but props to them for making it this far. I just don't care about that character because he's never described. Zantetsu's there, Reo, Jin, Aryu, and Aoshi. Reo, said a surprised Nagi. You again, Aryu says. I'm getting flashbacks. Next team, enter. And in then enters the third team, Team C, which is people that Isagi had never actually seen ever thus far, but they have heard of him. There isn't a single person present who doesn't know who the number 1 player is because Ego made sure to keep mentioning him to make people try harder. They're staring daggers at me, says Isagi. Makes me want to kill them. Well, that's a bit far. Crush. Yeah, let's go with crush, thinks Isagi. Save up your energy, egoist, says Rin. I get to crush you first. But you're still saying that even though we're on the same team now? Shut up, you're so lukewarm I could barf. The next team is then announced, and in walks another group of people never before seen, just as eccentric as the last batch. The voice then says, the 5th Nishio Hajime is being treated for injuries from the World Select Battle. Isn't that guy supposed to be super amazing? Even he got hurt? So everyone here faced the pros too, says Shigiri. Next team, enter. The doors open again, and in burst Raichi, Gagamaru, and one of the crazy twins, Junichi. And Bachiro is surprised that one of the twins made it first off. But then he says, you guys made it. That's right, you bastards, said Raichi. Oh, Isagi. Isagi looks at him, and Raichi says, you ain't getting away from me. This prompts a smile from Isagi, who says to keep dreaming while he can, only making Raichi more mad. By shoving Raichi down and out of the way, Gagamaru says, hey, there's a lot of new faces, huh? And Isagi, you look different. I mean, I guess. Putting him in a Nagi, Bachir says to lighten up as Isagi tries to calmly get him off when the last team is announced. In through the doors walk Igarashi, with his team full of people we once again do not know, but we do know one of them, just not familiarly. And while the former Team Z was hoping to see Kunigami with them, it ended up being someone new. Shido Ryusei. Kunigami lost. You that Isagi guy? Asked Shido. Didn't expect me, huh? The former Team Z is left mortified as Shido closes the distance between he and Isagi, who for the first time ever looked livid, remembering how close he started to get to Kunigami. Did Kunigami lose to you? Yep. Alright then. I'll be sure to absolutely crush you just because. What will happen next? What is Shido's fate now that he has made the stoic Isagi pissed? Find out in the next part of Blue Lock. See you on the next one. Peace. I'm gone.